what men need to understand about women. And this message is from a very powerful and authentic and personal place. But sometimes, occasionally, I step out into social settings, and the conversations that are happening all around me from every angle is always having to do with relationships. Whether it be woman venting about her dating experience, or friends discussing their trials that they're facing with their partner. All these relationship mishaps and issues that are going on in their personal lives. And ultimately, I think this is what, hearing this all my life, I think this is what has led me to creating this platform and having a voice in this, and just knowing that this was my calling, because it was not what I wanted for myself and my own personal relationships. But the common denominator is always that women are required safety from their masculine counterpart. Now, safety comes in many forms than just providing and protecting financially. That's important too. But providing and protecting means providing and protecting emotionally, providing and protecting spiritually, mentally, providing and protecting her from herself and her emotional triggers that might come up. See, I'm always on here talking about the brain differences and the hormonal differences of men and women and the science behind it, because it all ties into it, and it is very important to understand these distinctions, and I absolutely love discussing that. And it's for these very reasons. See, men have this distinct brain difference that when they hear a woman's problem or they hear her emotions, they want to go in and fix it and solve the problem and give her a solution for it, which is great and not always a bad thing until it is. The female psyche and the female body and brain has always needed to experience a deep sense of safety. See, for all of evolutionary history, women didn't have much emotional requirements from men, because their basic need for survival was survive and procreate. So their basic need from men was to protect them and feed their children. So in the past, surviving was difficult and relationships were easy. Now we have reversed it, and now surviving is easy and relationships are increasingly becoming more and more difficult for us. And this was never in God's plan. Because when he made Adam, he said, "No good for man to be alone. I will make him a helpmate." And so he gave him a relationship. And so now that we've integrated the emotional importance of men and women coming together, we don't even know how to contain that and protect that. So more often than not, women are not looking for solutions for their emotions or for their triggers that come up. She is looking for a safe space in her masculine partner for him to provide her with that safe space and protect it. What that looks like is, instead of fixing the emotion, saying things like, "I understand you. I hear you. I validate what you're feeling in your body at this moment." It looks like the man giving her a huge hug and saying, "I'm here for you, babe. And I'm here to understand what you're going through." And we are not talking about a woman who is emotionally abusive or, using him as an emotional punching bag. We're not talking about that dynamic, because if you are creating and attracting these situations, then that is a reflection of you, right? So whether you're a man or woman, that's a reflection of your masculinity or your femininity. Women are in dire need of that safe space to let out her things and her maybe junk that comes up without judgment and without a reaction from him. This is also not talking about woman going to man, blaming him for A, B, and C, and making him feel wrong for what he's not doing, or making him feel crazy, and then in turn triggering something inside of him. That's different. That's not what we're talking about. But rather providing that safe space within him, and then in turn what he receives back from that is the full surrenderance of her feminine energy, the fullness, the flourishment of her feminine energy, her feminine heart. What men need to do in order to get to that point is heal their own hearts, heal all the things that they have dealt with from their childhood, from their past relationships, from the cards that they've been dealt, things that they refuse to deal with and just keep shoving aside. It requires healing from a man in order for him to step in to that true masculine safety, protection, provision, and containment. But men are so weakened now. They are so weakened by women. They are so weakened by culture, by the media, by just destructive ideologies that are floating around our culture today. And don't even get me started in the foods, because you guys, you know, that plays a huge role in men's masculinity and their testosterone levels. But men, only you can provide that structure that she needs. Men are like the stump on the oak tree, and women are like the leaves on top of the oak tree. There's actually an oak tree literally right in front of me. His roots stand so firmly rooted into the ground, and her leaves just sway on top to the wind, to the weather, and he remains stable and grounded all throughout her changes in emotions and all her weather temperaments. Men, this is a concept that I need you to understand and master if you care at all about having a healthy and growing relationship with your partner. And no man is perfect, but there's a level that you can reach of providing that safety for her that allows her to fully surrender to you, okay? Because when a woman shuts off emotionally and she can't feel you and feel connected to you, that is when you start to suffer, and she starts to close off physically and sexually. And just the other day, I had made a video and someone had commented, well, why do I have to train him? I'd rather just stay single. And my response to that is, then you need to stay single, because no man is perfect, and you will have to train a man in certain areas. And this doesn't mean, trying to change a man's heart posture and heal him when he's unhealed, but training him in certain areas if you're gonna have an ongoing partnership with him, right? Because relationships are our biggest test. Relationships are a mirror to us. They are the biggest reflection to our inner child and our souls. But it truly hurts me to see a significant amount of people that are single today, single and lonely. and finding coping mechanisms to deal with that. Those who have no hope left for themselves in their relational healths. And the majority of people who come into the bar are single and trying to find an outlet to connect. Because we humans are built for connection. We're built for connecting with other humans. And loneliness can be just as detrimental to your health as smoking can. See, us women, we are always testing men. We do this feminine testing that's not always conscious, most often subconsciously. But we unknowingly test a man's strength. If he can do the distance. If he can withstand the test of time. If he can push and manage through her natural life cycles. Her natural hormonal month-to-month cycle. We are always testing the strength and leadership of our men. The provision and protection of our men. Men. Masculinity. You are needed more than ever. Your fears of ever truly committing to a woman can be justified. But does that mean that you should give in to what this culture wants you to believe? What this culture is programming you to be? Oh, and to that note of providing and protecting, one time, a woman was telling me about within her marriage, her husband would, he wouldn't really care if another man was flirting with her, or he would make like subtle comments that another man could just take and have his wife. And what I say is, men, what the hell is wrong with you? If you are doing this because you don't care about protecting what is yours, then how will a woman ever feel provided and protected and safe in your arms and in your containment? You don't care about protecting what you rightfully claimed as your own, as your prize, as your responsibility? If you pretend like you don't care that another man can take what's yours and snatch her up, and you act like that doesn't bother you to her, you have seriously something wrong with you. This is the opposite of providing and protecting, and providing that safe emotional containment, that safe masculine containment. You don't have to be a violent man in order to rightfully protect what is yours. I'm done. I hope you guys have enjoyed this very passionate chat and my insight to what women are so deeply craving from masculinity today. And I don't know, hopefully it opens someone's eyes and the right people hear the message. And I don't make this content, any of my content, for likes or follows or money or validation on social media. That's not why I'm on here speaking my voice. I have such a greater calling than that. And I don't care if 2 people view my video and gain what they need from it, or 10,000 people. Because I've been on both ends. Maybe not here on YouTube, but on my other platforms. I don't care about the views and all the likes and the follows, even though that is nice, right? Of course. I love to hear from you. But that is not what is inspiring me to keep putting this message out there. So just to be very clear. But I love you, and I'll see you guys later.